Right, guys, good evening. It's Moz here from Airfix and Chill. Hello, everyone. We've got a big group in tonight. We've got we've got 8 of us in, which is brilliant. And also, if you notice, there's a new feature on StreamYards where we're able to stream to each other's channel. So, hopefully, tonight we'll have a lot more people in the comments, chatting, watching us live throughout all of our channels. I think it's a bit of an experiment, see how well it works. But yeah, it's really exciting that we're able to now, each of us can now stream our source to our own channels, which is what it's all about, really. It's all about sharing the wealth and giving each other a lot of exposure. But firstly, new in the panel, somebody I've been talking to for a while now, is Alex from Man's Models. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, normally you're playing D&D, isn't it?
I am doing other nerdy habits, yes.
As a child, D&D, it was only until I started watching The Big Bang Theory that I realized that it was still a thing, doing D&D. So, but brilliant. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. But our main guest tonight is Jason from Outlaw Paints. And if you have been watching Model Officers 48-hour build bash, he donated some fantastic prizes to the auction in which I was a winner. But I thought I'll get Jason on tonight to explain himself, because I think Outlaw Paints is going to be a little bit big in the UK once they come over here from Australia. Everyone I've spoken to that have used Outlaw have said it is excellent paint, and I think it's fair and right to get Jason up to explain himself and explain the company to us. So, Jason, over to you, my friend.
Good morning or good evening, guys. How are we?
Yeah, really well, really well. Thanks for joining us tonight. So, a little bit of history of Outlaw Paints. Do you want to go into your history?
Okay, well, I'll start off how it all came about. I used to drive the big mining trucks, the big Cat 793s, and I've been modelling for around 50 years. 51 years this year, and I about 5 years ago now, I had my left shoulder crushed in one of those trucks, and had the black dog. So I started up a YouTube channel called Aussie Scale Modeler. Now, the first person I invited on was another Australian paint company, and they sort of just washed me away and said, too old, not interested, yada yada. And then I got in contact with Braden. Now, he was he did a 3-hour drive out of his way just to come and visit me here, and so he was on holiday with his family at the time, and he came around, and that's how the relationship with Braden. He was the original inventor, creator of Outlaw Paints Australia. So a year and a bit went on, and about a year and a half, I think it was, and things went upside down in Braden's life, and he called me and said, did I want to get Outlaw Paints? Would I be interested in Outlaw Paints? I said, absolutely. I said, I believe in it. I've used it. I use it all the time. And at that stage, there was no military range. And I've come from a military background, Royal Australian Navy, grandfathers, everybody served in every war, both male and female. And so that's how it came. Now, Braden came about the idea because as a modeler, he wanted the ability to, instead of having to whip down the shop or do an order online, he wanted to have the paint right there and then. And he had a big history in paint, in hydro dipping, and printing and stuff. So he's always been working with colours, and he's a wizard. And that's how it came about. And I built the brand up and started sharing it massively across Australia, and then the rest of the world got into hearing about it, and they're using it, and not in retailers over there in the UK, the US, and Canada, and Belgium, but I've sent samples and everything just to help people out. Hey, you have a look at this, and then they send back, how can we buy it? Where can we get it? And like we even sent up to Sweden the other day for the Yamato. We make the colours and we colour match them 100% accurately. We don't just source, oh yeah, that looks close enough, or that's a Tamiya colour, that's a Mr. Hobby, that's a Vallejo. We go to the source of where that colour originated and get the original codes, and that's why we're accurate.
So are you using particular pigments and particular thinners in this paint?
Yes, we are, mate. We use, and we're one of the few. The reason it's the highest quality paint, and this isn't all this salesman stuff and that, I'm just a modeler. That's all I am. Braden's the wizard, but it's liquid pigment, and I can tell you, I'm not sure what that's worth in UK in pounds or euros or American dollars or Canadian dollars or whatever. But what, just one of our pigments, and it could be any given piece of any bottle of paint. One pigment in Australia for 1 litre that we have is just over $400 for 1 litre. And some have about 20 to 30 pigments in a 30 ml bottle. And just to show you some of our metallic here, that's how much pigment you get in a bottle.
Wow, it's over half, isn't it? Crumbs.
Yeah, so that's some of the metallics. And then I'll just show you the metallic of our competitor here.
Wow. Wow, that's a big difference, isn't it?
So, yeah, our thinners are premium. We still have our secret squirrel stuff, which we got to protect, as everybody understands. And if you want to see how it was sprayed out and that, and we might do it on your channel, mate.
Yeah,
I'd like to do that.
Okay, mate.
We won't do that today, but we'll do it probably a couple of weeks when things are settled down. As you all know, we've got the big launch of the 108 military colours.
That's what I'm waiting for.
I know you. And so we're the only paint company in the world that does this. So this is a sneak peek of some of our labelling. So as you can see, that is RLM black green, and because the camera's not that great, or it is, but it just won't focus. You have federal standard numbers, RAL numbers, so you can accurately go to whatever model you're building, go to the colour call out sheet, and if they've got the RLM number, you can then go to your local store or online or wherever you get it from. And so we've got the German there. What have we got here? I've got the whole box over here. And I'll show you a couple of models that are made with Outlaw paints, but this is the secret box at the moment. And there's 108. So it's pretty wild. There's your IJN grey.
Yeah, that labeling is fantastic. The way you've got the flags in behind.
So thanks, mate.
Yeah.
So it's what's that? Instrument black, and that is Federal Standard 27040. And where are we? Here's one for you, mate.
Oh, British Interior green. The packaging looks fantastic.
Oh, and the paint's even better.
So what size is the bottles then?
30 ml bottles.
Yeah.
Now those I could go through them all. They're just brilliant.
Yeah.
But with our current, like our primers, the black and the grey, we are looking at a red ochre as well. So you can have a red primer, like a rust. So that's good. But our primers, you don't have to sand. neither the black nor the grey. They are self-leveling.
Yeah.
You don't have to sand them.
That's
For
incredible.
example, I will show you something that was a body of a car that was sand. Primer was laid on.
Yeah.
32 hours of masking.
One coat primer, yeah.
One coat of primer.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
We're a one pass paint, so you're not 98% one pass. 32 hours of masking, base coat, 2K diamond clear. That has never been sanded or polished in its life.
Wow. Look at the finish on that. It's like gloss, isn't it? It's like a mirror. It's like glass.
It is. It's like pouring glass over whatever you're doing. We have all the clears, the flat, the satin, the matte. Yeah, so we've got all that as well. And this is one of our sponsored modelers because we've just taken that up here in Australia. So the whole crew of sponsored modelers for each genre will be traveling to Telford next year, and we'll be joining, under the Outlaw Paints marquee there or whatever we have over there. And yeah, so this is one of our very highly skilled modelers.
Yeah, it's incredible that. And that's all your cutters, all your
every
paints.
drop of colour you see is Outlaw Paints, even in there.
Yeah.
And I've got to talk to him because he did this. He gave this one to Braden. And who the hell slams a Lamborghini? I don't know. But
that's lovely, that. Look at that.
We also do British rail. We do all the Australian rail colours.
Yeah, I've had a question. I have had a question on that, but before we jump into the questions that people are asking on the channel, your friends turned up. Hiya, James. How are you, my friend?
I'm okay. Voice is still pretty bad at the moment, but yeah, not too bad. So
just from everyone here on Airfix and Chill, congratulations on your 48-hour birthday bash, and wow, what an amount you have raised. Congratulations. Was 7,500, is that correct?
No.
Was it more?
So I can tell you the final total, which we just announced about 10 minutes ago, was £8,209.49.
Wow. Who gave the 49 pence?
That was basically what it comes down to is all of the sponsors were told that we would charge postage.
Yeah.
And a vast majority of them gave that postage to Models for Heroes on their behalf, basically. So,
wow.
Yeah. So there were some odd pennies here and there, but every penny counts. So just to put that into real terms, that's about 370 beneficiaries that will be receiving their first box. It's the simplest way of explaining it. So that's a massive thing to happen, and like I said a moment ago, the thing that you got to realize is it's not just the 370 plus people that are going to get that box that will start their therapeutic treatments and all that sort of stuff. It's their family, it's the people around them, their loved ones, that will benefit massively from them having that treatment and help in their journey. So it's an untold amount, really, of people. But a massive thank you to you, to Jason for being a sponsor, for everyone that got involved. I mean, we had something like 130 participants. We had 70-hour plus in streams, a whole myriad of people throughout all those streams helping and being a part of it. So close on to 200 people being involved from around the world is an awesome thing in itself. Yeah. So next year is going to be a little bit more special. We're just going to finesse it next year. We're not going to do anything mad because the reason is the following year we're going all out. And we're going to need 18 plus months to organize it if we can. So that's our goal. And as people in the chat will say, they've had a great time. The ability for the community around the world to spend a few hours or more just sitting, bending a bit of plastic, having a chat, picking up some tips along the way and all that sort of thing was awesome. So Yeah, book it for your diary. It'll be the same around about the same date next year.
Yeah.
And yeah, make sure you're a part of it. But thank you, Moss, and thank you, Jason, and everybody else that got involved. It really means the world to me.
I won this at the auction. This came today, so I think everybody's going to be getting their models this week, and I might keep that for next year for the 35-hour bash. Yeah, no, you've done brilliantly. As I said, it was a great show, and I don't know whether you just noticed this, that we're actually streaming tonight on each other's channels. There's been a new update on StreamYards, so each of us have been able to put this on our channel.
Oh, brilliant!
So maybe that's something you can look at for next year. You know,
Yeah.
it's we're just testing it tonight, really. And Alex from our models, Lexi on hers, Sully, Jason, we're all like live streaming this one thing to each of our channels. So maybe that's I think I've still got overall control of the cameras and everything, and you know, and the comments. But you know, what a way, eh? This is something, a little bit of technology that might come in useful for next year.
Well, funny you should say that. We will be partnering with StreamYard next year. They've already said they want to be helpful and be part of it. So there will be some additions to what we offered the last one. There are a good few additions that will be added. I'm in talks with StreamYard at the moment. Yeah, I won't tell you too much because I'm not 100% sure. But it's going to be so much bigger and so much more to control and look after. So, but the team's been brilliant. You know, luckily, I feel I was unwell through the event, so I had to step back. But the team just carried on like I wasn't there. I didn't need to be there, so that was fantastic. And it just went so smoothly. And that's part of that's down to the team. You know, it's down to the hard work they put in. So they've got lots of challenges next year in potentially new things they're going to have to cope with. But we're going to have to do some training days and all that sort of stuff. Getting very corporate all of a sudden, but yeah. So StreamYard are already going to be part of it. They've stepped up. There are a couple of other big companies that are going to step up potentially as well. So there may even be an absolute nightmare of a hangout going on too. But that's all in the planning. We've started that. We started it last week. Funnily enough. Yeah, so we're going to get most of the stuff in play by middle of this year, I think.
Okay.
We're working so far, and then we'll start looking at the following year because we really need to concentrate on that too. So
excellent.
Yeah, it's going to be mad.
Yeah, it is going to be mad. How do you feel, that Jason, and how you came across with your products on this? You've given so much, and it was extraordinary what you've given models for Heroes for the auction.
For us, well, for me personally, it wasn't about what I was putting in. It was what everybody else was going to get out of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't about, to me, Outlaw paints. It was a fact, and as I said, with my shoulder and everything, and all the black dog, and having military background, and having friends that have taken their own lives, and had no hope or nobody there to give them a hand. That's what it was about. To me, it had nothing to do with Outlaw paint. It was that's just a tool that I was personally able to go, hey, here you guys have it. And that felt good, but knowing the fact that all over the globe that James and the team and everybody there supported everybody.
Yeah.
And what they do, I mean, I know this is just UK but it's spreading like wildfire. And that's what, to me, it's about, promoting modeling, but helping your fellow man. It was I mean, you teared up at times, especially when the last stream I was part of was the US stream, and when the numbers were coming in, we sat like it was just overall. And to say that now over 370 men or people can be helped in just the smallest of ways that can change their lives, to give them hope, to give them freedom in their head. What's a bottle of paint worth? Like really in the big picture, man.
Incredible. Well, I'm as I said, I bought the big bundle, which was the last auction of the night. I was getting very tired, but there was no way I was going to let that go.
No, you weren't. Oh, hang on.
Which is great.
Look at this.
Yeah. Can I have one of them, James, please?
No. It comes from Australia.
I think it was the last one, Moss. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
Till the next one gets in, then I can show you that too, Moss.
So yeah, I mean, from me, I'm going to duck out in a second because I've got to go and get my missus from work. But I'm really, really, really grateful to Jason and to Brandon for what they did.
Braden.
I'll get it right one day, Bob. I tried so hard. I've even got it written there in front of me, but never mind.
If you go back to my first episode, just interrupting there. Welcome, when I was organising him to come on my channel, first interview. How are you, Brandon? Go back to episode 1 of Aussie Scale Modeler. Oh, you idiot.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad I'm not alone. But yeah, I'm really grateful, Jason, for everything you've done, and Moss and loads of people that are here that have used their social media to promote it. And thank you for that. I mean, one of the feedbacks I have had from people like yourself is that next year they want the flyer, they want to be promoting it and making it bigger. So thank you to everybody that can do that. And yeah, we'll certainly take you up on that. But from me, well done for any of you viewers that were involved and got involved. I must say that the Just Giving page is still open if you want to add to that total. Yeah. But don't go too mad because it will affect the target next year. But yeah, no, thanks for letting me come on very quickly, Moss. I feel really rude that I'm leaving, but I have to.
No, I get that, mate. Yeah, I'll give you a ring in the week sometime anyway.
We'll have a chat. No doubt I'll be here another Monday anyway. So, but
yeah,
for definitely. Now, thank you, everybody. Take care.
Cheers, James. Thanks. Bye-bye. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. All right, that's James there from Model Officer. Going back, there's been some questions in the chat so far, Jason. We just go back here. Where was it to? Somebody had written that's right. To what are you matching? BSC samples, American Kirchhoff for RLM stuff, and Cura Arsenal swatches. Is that what you're matching to?
So we actually go to, like, even for our I'll give you an example for the IJN grey. We actually contacted the museum in Japan, and we got all the history. Like that's how much effort we go to. Pretty standard. Like Braden and I contacted it. It's all secret squirrel stuff as well, guys. So
I get that. Yeah,
as you can understand. So we've got our, and it's all through modelling. Although I've got a few mates, as you know, from the Royal Australian Navy, and I know quite a lot of veterans and couple of World War II veterans and that, and we go, and they've got people who they put us in contact with. But yeah, we go to people like that, and in the end, we come up with that the colour, the original colour, and not only that, we don't just go, okay, well that was British Interior green, that's it. So moving forward, just an example, you might have for World War II, okay, the 1939 to 1940 to 40 to 42 or whatever. So whenever that color came into existence,
Yeah.
if you've got that particular aircraft or that particular bit of armor, that can actually be made for you. So if you're looking for that exactly,
Yeah.
all you have to do is get in contact with us here, and I do believe in the future, not too distant future, the UK, and you give the details of what exact color you're looking for, from what exact, for example, aircraft, when it came into service, and we can recreate that color.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And we don't use digital colors. So you can have somebody can say, oh, here's a color, what it is. And I'll send you a color via email or something. Never, ever use digital colors. All paint chips and swatches. And we've got a spectrophotometer. What a big bloody word this morning. It's just gone up past 6 in the AM here. But we analyze that, and then we compare it, and then we make sample and spray up. So just to give you an example, to get what is that one? Azure Blue, the USA Azure Blue.
Yeah.
Federal standard 35321. That was 60 spray outs.
Wow.
So 60 cards were used to get that exact color. And that's using the exact numbers. So, because when you scale down,
Fair enough. Question for you, Jace, from To Boldly Go. You mentioned the British Railway paints. Can you clarify? Have you got like a complete range, or have you got like just the bog standard railway paints?
Well, look, that's where Braden comes in. He's a trainee as well. So he likes going backwards and forwards on that. I don't see the point. Anyway, true. I call him the fat controller. But, so if you go to www.outlawpaints.com, you'll see the British Rails colours. A lot of Australian, the Victorian, Queensland, New South Wales, and I think they've got a couple of essays there. But if you are looking for a particular colour, again, please email us, and we can recreate whatever colour. We've got sleeper grime, and it's all airbrush ready. And there's a gentleman down in New South Wales called Jurgen Engel. He's one of the top 3 O scale, I think they call it. And his is all handmade engines, right? His are all brass and bolting and welding and all that sort of stuff. And just, I think it's $7,500 for just the smallest of one of his engines. That's Australian, but he's commissioned for 2 years by 2 people. So he's got full-time work for the next, 3 years for the next, just to build trains, and he uses Outlaw Paints exclusively.
Fantastic. Right, back to the chat now, I think. And so then, anyone got any questions for Jason about his Outlaw Paints? Anyone in the chat got any questions?
Do you do weathering stuff? It's most important.
We have been. I think we were looking down that road, and we're still going to. It's about getting these 108 military colours. It'll be the 28th of April, launched here in Australia. That's when it gets launched. Okay. It was hoping to be launched on the 28th in the UK, but unfortunately that's not actually going to happen due to the fact that slow boat to the UK is what they say. Really slow boat. So it'll be over there very shortly. But with the weathering products, we are going down that route. By the end of the year, or actually by Telford, there'll be 200 military colours on top of the, I think it's 279 base colours we've got, metallics and all that aside. And so that's where that's going. But let us know what you'd like to see in weathering products. Another part of the range will be, and I really had to chat to Braden about this, especially military colours, was your brushables. So you'll be able to have the exact airbrush ready paint in brushable paint for all your fine detail work. So say you've done a Spitfire, for example, the greatest plane ever made in the history of mankind. Forget the Wright Flyer, but yeah. So all your cockpit detail, panel lines and that. But with your paint, you'll be able to do all that as well. So yeah, that will be available either the end of this year or the start of next year. So we have the special concoction to do it. It's just a lot of testing involved as well, but the panel line stuff, that will be available by the end of the year.
Nice.
Dominic's asked, now that there is a military approval line, can you chip the paint? I'm talking about the chipping medium and then
Yes,
bring
you can.
back the rust layer with water.
I think I've got a spoon here that has the rust on it. So if you I haven't chipped it right up yet, but if you,
I'll put it on big screen.
So if you look under there, you can see that's Outlaw Paints rust colours.
Wow.
To get some of them.
You've already done a wall.
I can do more. There's always more to rust.
Wow, that's come up really nice,
awesome.
hasn't it?
Yeah, and that's just on a spoon. So I pestered the crap out of Braden about making that. Oh, not but the base coat for it. And I can't say what that is. But yeah, so basically you could use the hairspray technique if you want. And works a treat. So that's your old rust.
That's your old rust. Crumbs.
So that's old rust. Here's some of the that's the blue.
Yeah.
Bronze.
Just look at that finish, though, isn't it? It's quite dazzling, isn't it?
Yeah, that's that azure blue, I think it was. This is so that's just fantastic. I mean, there's
good one for Alexa.
So.
Yeah, the one for nails.
Paint and nails,
yeah. Adam Boots has asked, are the paints suitable for airbrushing straight from the bottle or is thinning required?
Adam, mate, great question. They are all airbrush ready, straight from the bottle. There's no thinning. You never ever have to thin these out. On the side of the bottle, we give you the things to say between 16 and 20, 15 and 20 psi. You can go down to your 2 mil. Or all the way up your 3. That's with your metallics as well. We do suggest if you're especially with metallics, just to push them through, even though we've never had any dramas, just for on the safe side, start at 16 and use that 16 to 20. The thinners that are the premium, you will not find any better thinners in the world. Like we pay the highest price for the best thinners, so that as a modeler you want the best finish, so that's why we put it in. That's how Braden developed it. He wanted the best finish on everything he did, and he bought XYZ thinner, and if Z happened to be the most expensive and that gave the best result, that's how it came in. There's no, I hate saying sound like a salesman, but there's no compromise. It's all handmade. Every bottle's handmade. All the pigments and as you would have seen, Moss, when we did the Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark, yeah.
Yeah. When we did that, we actually showed how it was made. Yeah. And then we brought it from up the shed down into this room you see here behind me, went to the spray booth after we'd labelled that bottle, poured it into the cup and sprayed it straight on. That azure blue. Yeah. And then we did a few other colours live as people got to see it. It doesn't leave said to any customer or anybody with it has to be perfect, because we're modelers. That's it. Like,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
we build, and the last thing you want is a shitty spray job after all the effort you've gone to,
Mm.
and then all of a sudden you've got bloody looks like somebody's thrown talcum powder over your model, or it just looks crap. And we don't build to have that result. We build to, we actually had a 6-year-old, and he's sprayed out, and they got the same finish with a $25-$30 airbrush.
Really?
Yep.
There you go. That's it. That's all you need, isn't it? Just a lot of people have, who I presume have using them already, are saying Outlaw paint is great to paint and ease of use. I've just asked Jason about paint for Star Trek Enterprise, so I presume he's sent you a picture of the Starship Enterprise ready for him to get that painted.
No, Paul has gone to great lengths. More lengths than I think any trainee's gone to explain to us about a colour of paint. I mean, live long and prosper, Paul. That's all I can say, mate. But yeah, okay, John. But so again, with helping out Paul, we'll research that colour.
Yeah,
we'll make it, and especially with a colour like that being so unique, we'll make up 100 ml bottle to send to Paul.
Yeah.
So he has it in future Star Trek builds or whatever. Yeah, that's just what we do.
We've got a few here just asking. I was saying I'm going to give these a go if we can get them to the UK. What is your time frame of getting these products out to, say, Europe and America? Have you got like a specific time frame, or have you got any contacts in America per se, where people can buy these paints?
Okay, well, I've got definitely in the UK, and I've got some definitely in Denmark.
Yeah,
and everyone's there. And I have Blue Street Customs. Mark we're talking together. He lives in Canada, and so he can get them. Unless Donald gets back in and builds a wall, and cuts out Canada as well, he'll be able to get them across the border. The awareness is there. It's just getting it. See, we're just a little Aussie company. Two blokes, an amazingly understandable wife, and we work our butts off. Currently here it is 6:39 in the morning, and we have just reached 29 degrees.
Wow.
Celsius. So we work up in a colour-bond shed, 6 by 6 metre, no air conditioning, and humidity here. Where I live in Gladstone, Queensland, we're sitting at about 95 at the moment.
Crumbs.
So it's a lot of slog, but we know product. People want it over there desperately. Like, we've had people from, as I said, with Switzerland. They don't care what the postage was. They just wanted the paint. And then you get the beautiful emails from all over the world of the people we sent it to, and they thanking us. I'm like, hang on, you paid for it. They need to thank us.
I am looking forward to getting hold of these paints, and then if they're good, I'm gonna have to get rid of me racks and get new racks, aren't I?
Yeah, when you were talking, you literally said on air you will remove the range of Tamiya. And show the world that there they go. Look out, bye bye in the box, and
I'll sell them on. I'll sell on my Tamiyas.
But I know that'll happen because I know how good it is. And I hate again to sound like a salesman, but as a modeler, that's the thing. As a modeler, it'll blow your mind.
I think we're getting to a stage now where, and I'm going to put this out to the chat here as well, to the panel. Do you think the improvements we're seeing with paints aircraft or models is all because there's more of actual modelers getting involved in the actual production of accessories, paints, models in the last 10 years. I kind of agree with that. For instance, Airfix have got Pramjit, who's an experienced model builder, and he designs the Airfix models as a modeler would like to build. What's your thoughts, Alex? You're new to the chat. How's your feelings on that?
It's a really good question.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. It's interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of companies started up with, modelers, like Games Workshop. Games Workshop started off with a group of guys from Nottingham who didn't want to go to work. They wanted to play D&D and, mess about. So they formed a company which is now a global monster, But it's really got away from that, heart of what it started off in. And become very much more profit. It's run more by, or certainly I would say 2000, 2010, those kind of areas. It became a company very much read by spreadsheets and business people.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of regained some of its hobby focus now. But I think you do see a lot of small companies, which are very much run by modelers, become very successful because they're catering to exactly what we want.
Yeah.
I'd like to say yes, but I'm not sure whether some of the improvements we're seeing are just that modeling is actually, as nobody really expected, I guess, in the 90s, it's becoming more popular. It is becoming more of a common hobby than it was in the 90s. When PlayStations and things came out, everybody thought that it was relegated to history. Thankfully, that's been proven not to be the case. So whether it's driven by profit sheets, and that people are just not used. I mean, if you take some of the old vintage classics from Airfix and the Revell old toolings, Frog, Novo, these old kits, most people now, I would say younger modelers, they're not expecting that and they're not prepared to put up with it. So they'll pay for, what Airfix are doing. I think Airfix and Hornby have had them really up their game. Their engineering now is first class. You've got China coming in, with the likes of Trumpeter and Hobby Boss. Tamiya have always been kind of gold standard and they continue to go in that way. So you have the quality there and you have people prepared to pay for that. People have more disposable income, apart from the last year or so when things have gone to hell. So, it's an interesting question. I don't know the answer. Maybe Jason, has more insight to that than we do.
Yeah. So is that how you feel, Jason? Being a modeler, you're able to put that experience of modeling into the paint, and I'm assuming you're making paint for what you want to do. I don't know what you're into. Are you into cars? Are you into military? I'm not too sure what you're into modeling.
Okay, I have just over 900 and something kits in my stash.
Stash.
So as you can see behind,
I thought mine was big. That's impressive, Jason.
So over behind, on the top there's a 1/8 scale Pontiac Trans Am, the Yamato 1/200, the Titanic, the Missouri 1/200 over there. In that black cabinet.
1/200 scale Yamato.
Yes. If you watch Oscar Modeling, Peter, we do Aussie Modelers Live on Sundays. That's where the original Yamato was IJN Grey and IJN Whole Red came from. Watch him do that. His is a great description of how good the paint is. And when you do large scale, you see everything. So that just shows how good it is. I build, hang on, up the top there. Excuse the mess. I'll just grab my little camera and give you a walk around. And I use every paint that I don't have in the range. So here we go. What do we got? So and there's a whole garage, double bay garage full of kits.
Wow.
So, hang on. Let's get that back down there. Back to the question that we were talking about. I've found that the influence and questions from modelers, the input, gets people on the development of kids greatly. With paint, you all, as modelers, you all know, if you don't trust it, if you've sprayed it and it's crap, and if you have to muck around with this and that to try and get that result you're after, so all that time you have to spend, you're not going to be talking about it in the positive light. So I think that's where, with Braden and myself, it has to be dead set to bowl again, so that's the input. I think that has changed it greatly, because we're aware of what people are saying and listen to what people are saying, and not just going, okay, we're a big company, we don't really need them, we don't need their input. If they don't listen to us as modelers, we're not buying their kids.
No, that's right. Interesting. Yeah.
If we don't listen to people as modelers, as painters, and nobody's buying our paint.
No. Okay, then. Let's put it out there to the chat as well and to the panel. When do you me personally, I like to stick with one brand. So as you know, behind me, that is all Tamiya, and in my case there, I've got nearly the range of Vallejo. But so what I'll ask a question. So what insists you, what guides you in a paint brand or your paint? Is it because you've worked with them before, or is it because you trust them, or is it because you like working with them? What about you, Sully? What when it comes to paint, what is it that gets you to buy a particular brand, and or is it, or why do you use a particular? I know you do, Lexi. I'll come to you in a minute, but what about you, Sully? What's your checklist for when it comes to paint?
Just something that's got a half decent finish, really. I mean, I'm the same as you. Pretty much all my paints, well, a large chunk of my paints are Tamiyas.
Yeah.
Because I feel that they go down really flat, as long as they're thin properly. And I always get decent finishes with them. I find. So I've always stuck with it, and I've never really seen much point in going anywhere else.
Yeah.
But recently, I thought, because a lot of people going on about like MRP and obviously Outlaw now. I'm definitely considered it like trying some out, because I do. I mean, admittedly, obviously when I first sort of started, particularly with airbrushing, obviously, you like, sorry, you watch a load of other videos and see what everybody else is using.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, I mean, I've also got like a load of mix between like Vallejo and AK. And I will only solely use those for hand painting, because Tamiya's shit at hand painting.
Yeah.
Unless, because I'll be doing some in a minute, you use some retarder and some thinner with it as well. It's fine then.
Yeah.
But it's just faffing around. But because obviously I need to use the same colours I've used on this already, I'm not going to use anybody else's, because I know they're the same colours.
No, you are, for you, Lexi, you just like your bundles, don't you? That's what gets you into buying paint. Is that right?
And the pretty boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, is that what it is?
It's just a nod.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like them being really organised.
Well, this is it. I buy a Hitaka because I was doing
It's bad, but it's I don't know. I think because I'm very money conscious, it just makes sense to an extent.
Makes sense.
Just having a bundle where I don't have to worry about buying additional paints afterwards.
It's definitely good to start with a range like that.
Yeah,
I've done that a couple. It's not my first, a lot of paints was a box set, and particularly with some of my rust stuff. Actually, no, with the rust stuff and pigment rusting stuff, was all in a set straight off. So I'd got everything and just refill everything afterwards as I use and finish.
Yeah, I get that. It's like the reason I try and buy the full range. If I find a paint that I like, I buy the full range. Is there's nothing worse than coming home and getting your model and then realizing you don't have that paint.
Yeah.
You're having to wait 2 weeks to get the paint.
Yeah.
You know, it's all very well if it's the interior, but knowing you spray the interior up and you're back into it, and next thing you know, you're missing certain paints that you need. So I like to have the full range. Yeah, that's what you've got. Who's that with then, Lexi?
That's Life Color.
Are they easy to get hold of?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
E-models have them a lot. You can really easily order them from, I think, Fenger's site, because they import them into the UK, but then they take a couple of weeks to come. But you can order single pot replacements as well. But I've I just went to them because I was using Revell Aqua Color for hand painting, and I mean they're not great for airbrushing.
No. I think
we were talking about that Spitfire before last week or something. This is one I touched. I just threw some of our. This is about they're a bit old. I haven't finished this in no way, shape, or form.
Well, what do you reckon? Yeah.
So
Sully's looking at that going, wow, aren't you, Sully?
I'm trying to ignore. I'm just trying to ignore what the aircraft is. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to be.
Sully, if you love Spitfires, I love you.
I can't stand the bastards. I'm sorry.
And it's been good seeing you, Sully. Now,
sorry. No, trust is. I'm just trying to be nice. I'm keeping my opinion to myself.
the greatest aircraft ever made.
No Outlaw samples for you, Sully.
I know.
Yeah, I'm currently.
Actually,
we just started a fan list, and you're number one.
To be fair, Jason, if you want somebody to do some German, is it Messerschmitts in it for you, Sully, in it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
He loves his Messerschmitts.
Anything that's got rust and filth on it.
Yeah.
Or has some good modulation on it.
Go outside. Look at a Ford vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying that a lot of people in the chat are saying, this made me laugh, John Marley, I use Vallejo because I love clogging, splatter, and tip job.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It's quite funny, that, isn't it?
Can't disagree with it. That's why I said that's why I solely use them for hand painting.
Yeah.
I just can't get them to work. And AK, funny enough, even though they're supposed to be airbrush ready.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bullshit.
I don't quite understand it. There's a lot to be said for that, isn't there?
Yeah.
As I said, I got the whole load of Vallejo range because I was told they were going to be the best. I think I thinned the Air ones down more than I ever did the Tamiya ones.
Yeah.
I don't think they're airbrush ready at all. Though they
I don't
to be.
No, I had to thin every single one of them, and some more than others because they were just like paste. There was no two ways about it. You're gonna have to slap an absolute shed load of thinner in with it.
Yeah. Crazy Locker, thank you very much for the super chats again, my friend. I hope you're enjoying your Airfix t-shirt that I sent you. Aussie Scale Modeler, any plans for bundles of countries, colours, etc.?
Okay. Oh, it's funny you bring that up, mate. I was speaking to Dita in Denmark this morning, Sunday night or whatever it was, and they're after their range for their airports, and we're not sure about doing colour bundles from countries. We found that as a modeler, if you go to a store or whatever, you might only want one out of that box set or something, or you look for that one colour. Yeah. It's not. So we want people to have the ability to purchase that colour they need, not the colours they may use in 10 years' time or 5 years' time. So we do our rust set, our leather set, our brake set, our 2K clear set, and I'm sure I've missed one there. Our Ozcam set. So it's the amount of work that goes into just getting the bottles out, let alone putting box sets out, is amazing. And it's virtually the same price. And in box sets, you get 20 ml bottles. In bottles, you get 30 ml.
Yeah. Just to clarify, these are lacquer-based paints, aren't they?
Yep,
They're
acrylic
not
lacquers.
acrylic lacquer paints.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
And again, back to it, you just pour it straight in the cup.
Yeah.
Hang
Straight in the cup
on.
and spray.
I've got the spray booth over there. I'm just worried about starting up the compressor at this time of the morning.
Well,
Can I be frank and honest here? I like sex. And my wife is sleeping.
He has to give us a demonstration in a minute. Do you want to go off and get it ready and give us a demonstration?
I love him
so much. Well, I suppose we've had 11 kids, so I've had my fill.
Well, if you want to set it up, then that's fair enough.
Mate, because you did ask, and I can just literally give you a live demonstration.
He seems very nice.
I'm going to set the camera off.
Yeah. Okay.
So, got to work out.
If you want to come back in, then we'll get you up to do a live demonstration. That'd be fantastic.
All right, mate. So, how do I go out and come back in?
Just leave the studio and then click the link to come back in, and we'll let you back in.
Right, brother. I'll set that up for you.
Okay. All right. Say hi to the wife for me.
Mate, you owe big time for this, I swear.
Cheers, mate.
See you in a sec.
See you in a sec. Right, so we're going to have a live demonstration then of his paints. Celtic West says, I always use Tamiya with Mr. Colour leveling thinner, but recently have moved over to SMS and Tamiya LP. They give excellent results. And yes, as I have moved over to the LP range as well. But I do use, I use two. I've got the lacquer thinner for the LP range. If I want it to go, if I want it to go down, like with a matte finish, I use that. But I found if I use the lacquer thinner with retarder, I get a better gloss finish using that. Because the retarder slows the paint down from drying, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you're able to get a pretty good wet coat, and that's the two I use. I have got the Mr. Level Thinners here, but I tend to use this one on the Humbrol paints. Yes, I spray the Humbrol paints occasionally because I've got them. And also when they come dry, you just use this to make them wet again. Do you know what I mean? In the start.
I hope you don't use that on the missus.
What do you think so far? Then I'm excited about these paints.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in it.
Yeah. It's definitely it's another, to me. It's going to be another piece in the arsenal, isn't it? Because as you said, if you lay down it crap, it really does ruin the model, doesn't it?
Gotcha. Well, like I said, that's why I've moved to. I mean, I've always used Tamiya, but I found using like Celtic West, I use Mrs. Leveling Thinner, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah,
the finish is awesome. That's what on this one. That's what I've used on my my Harrier.
Yeah,
that's all Tamiya and Mr. Leveling Thinner.
Yeah,
and about 30 shades of green.
What do you use then, Alex? What paints do you use?
Oh, I'm a paint whore. I'll use anything. So I used to use Tamiya an awful lot. As I think as Sully said, hand painting them, they're just they're
rubbish.
Yeah, dog shit. Yeah.
Like I said, using a couple of drops of retarder and acrylic thinner, they're not too bad actually.
Right. I've never tried that. Never had the patience to do that. But I also, when my son was about 8 or so, I took him to the IPMS Telford show, and he picked up some Warhammer, which got us into that. So
Yeah.
I've got a lot of figure painting. So I've got a lot of single pigment paints from companies like Chimera. So I'll go with anything, Poly-S, all kinds of stuff. Hataka as well, I've used. You mentioned those, Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it tends to be, I haven't found a range yet that has good paint across the range. They'll have some which are good, and they'll have one or two pigments that just, I don't know, but they're not used to using, whether it's metallics or whatever, and they just don't behave the way. Vallejo, I think, is probably a good example. I'm quite a Vallejo fan, but there'll be one or two colors, and you'll dilute them like you normally do, and they just don't behave in the same way.
No.
Yeah, I think having a range that is just usable straight out of the
MIG metallics are good if you want something to airbrush metallics. MIG's quite good. You still have to thin them, but they go down really nicely.
Yeah, I try to avoid just metallics whenever possible.
Yeah. No, but MIGs actually go down really nicely. They don't. It's go down nice.
Today was Vallejo metallics for me, so you know.
Yeah.
You have a
Do you not find though when you touch it, the paint does come off a bit quick with that Vallejo though?
Only if you touch it and then 3 minutes after you've painted it, let it dry for 3 minutes, touch it, and it's usually fine.
Oh, I found it a little bit flaky. Just saying, you can't touch it too much. Also, Jason's generosity to models for heroes is nothing short of inspirational. He should bottle himself. Yeah, we all need a Jason. And he's back actually in the chat. Hi, Jason. Are you all set up now?
No.
I'll give you a minute.
Crashing sound.
Okay. Right. So Miss Modeler's had to shoot off, bless her. So we'll see her soon. Which we just lost the private chat then. So we've got Jason coming back to do us a bit of a demonstration of his paint, which is good. Is there a paint you won't use? Hella.
It's a good job she's gone.
Yeah.
No, there is one. There is one you won't use.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay, yeah. I binned about £1,000 worth of AK stuff. I stood with the others, and still to this day, I'm not really forgiven them for what they did. So, but yeah, and the thing is though, is that when I got with a lot of stuff, and in all fairness, I what's the word? Haven't found anything that couldn't replace it, if you know what I mean. The only thing is those pencils, the weathering pencils. I don't know anyone who does a decent weathering pencil, but that's something for the future, I guess. Any paints you wouldn't use, Sully?
Umbral.
It's a good shout. Alex, you same?
Having just been doing a starter kit challenge and the white in that, I mean, it was separated. There's just no way. I thought maybe I was doing something wrong, so I just got some Liquitex heavy body white, smooth as silk, and it's just shit. So probably Umbral. Yeah.
It's a shame. I think Jason's just priming up his compressor. Yeah, I can see that, and and I think Umbral has got a long way to go. And when I went to and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. When I went to the Creator Day, and Umbral said, when we've asked modelers, to use this paint, spray it through, and they said, yeah, it's not that bad. That said it all for me, because that isn't the answer I wanted to hear.
If you're going to market it that it's not bad, You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Not that bad.
It's 4 out of 10. You know,
You're not gonna, it's like you're not going to buy a car and it's all right. You know.
And that's the Gen 2. You know, Gen 5, 50-50 there, like, you know what I mean? It's
by
it's
that point,
definitely
it's just,
one
we're
of
getting close. We're getting close.
We're getting close. We're getting close.
Not quite. Just
Yeah.
another 2-3 generations, maybe 10.
Yeah, maybe 10.
Has anybody used speed paints? You know, the Citadel Contrast or Army Painter speed paints on models?
No, I don't use that stuff anymore, to be honest.
No.
Oh, that's definitely a compressor, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll just mute him a minute. Yeah, so I haven't heard of them. What are they supposed to be then? So I've not heard of them. I don't really touch Citadel, really.
Again, they're from miniature painting, really. But they're quite good. So they provide on a base of, just say primer. They provide a lot of, if you're using a light primer, they'll provide the mid-tone and shade. So they're like a thick wash. If you imagine a Liquitex ink, it's kind of like that, but heavier bodied. So good for things like tracks, where you need, rather than going through a whole load of stuff if you're using like say 1/72 scale. It's quite good for that. And not really, as you say, not really known about by a lot of modelers. So it's been something I've been experimenting with recently.
Yeah,
I've seen it, like I feel like it has a lot of usage. Like if you do anything with zenithal highlighting, contrast paint pick that up just beautifully. But there's not a whole lot of that in like armor modeling or like airplane. Right? Like you're not gonna.
Yeah,
you're not getting as much of the usage out of them because the scale is different, right?
Yeah. So
it's a really it's a figure thing anyway, isn't it? Really.
It is, but they also work quite well and quite differently through an airbrush. But using them because they're transparent paint, so you can use them as color filters effectively.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
okay.
So yeah, they're certainly not designed for that, but a lot of even miniature painters have been using them for that with the Warhammer vehicles and stuff.
But I think like they're kind of more marketed too as a way to let you get you can get to game.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. You're breaking up there, Fenris. Are you getting internet access?
Can you all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, so I said that again, that last paragraphogram.
Yeah, just that because I think that the speed paints, the contrast paints are kind of designed more for the people that don't want to paint and they just want to get their army done so they can play. Yeah. So they're not as oriented towards like us who want to collect all the paints and we love spending a ton of time on painting and we're gonna it's kind of a different, I guess, product market as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of sort of high-end I call them high-end miniature painters, people that I could never hope to emulate. Have sort of picked up on them and using them in, like you say, not intended ways.
Right.
So yeah, they're interesting. I mean, of course, I bought an entire set because, as I say, I'm a painter.
Yeah,
I've wanted to play with them.
Just saying that I think we cannot deny that us scale modelers should be looking at these Warhammer painters because some of the stuff they're bringing out is incredible. Right, I think Jason's back with us now. Are you back with us, Jason? Oh, he's muted himself, so when he unmutes, he'll come. When I see him unmute, I'll put him back up. But yeah, I've been watching some of the Warhammer channels, and it's blown me away. There's one guy who will just dip his airbrush in thinners to clean it, then he's on to the next paint, and he just dips his whole hand and everything in there to clean his airbrush, and he's back in it again, and he's jumping from color to color to color, and before you know it, he's blended the flesh right the way through the body, and the leather's all got the highlights of it, and then he just puts his one coat on top, and it pops, and it's done. And I'm like, whoa, that's incredible.
Yeah. There's a guy called Marco Frisoni.
Yeah. Sorry, Alex.
Sorry, there were several people.
Yeah, that's right. You carry on, Alex. Sorry. Yeah.
There's a guy called, I think he's Marco Frisoni. I'm probably doing him a huge disservice with pronunciation of his name.
The Italian guy.
Yeah, he's definitely worth watching, if nothing else for his accent, which is outrageous.
And his energy is just like, whoa.
Crazy energy.
Yeah. That's it. Are you with us now, Jason?
I am, mate. I am.
Right, let's put you on the big screen. Let's see how your paints lay then, shall we?
Yeah, mate, if you would like to mute it, because the compressor's right to about 30 centimetres to my right, and I don't want that going off. But first, I'll just quickly lay down. Well, is that way?
Yeah.
Well, that way, I know what's upside down, but is that the right way up?
Right way up, yeah.
Rightio. So I'll lay that down. But Moss, if you want to choose between that,
okay,
lemon yellow,
yeah,
grey RAL 7003,
yeah,
dark green, British racing green.
Yeah, go on then. British Racing Green.
Oh, yeah. So, mate, if you guys just want to chat, please mute me and leave me up. I don't mind, and I'll just show you how
what I'll do is I'll leave you on the big screen so people can see what you're doing, and then we'll just carry on chatting. Is that all right?
Yeah, mate, but mute my chat because this is loud.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. So we're going to leave him. So if you want to watch your screen now as he puts down the grey primer, which apparently you don't have to sand. And basically, as you can see, he's giving it a shake. He's going to put it in his airbrush. He's just going to go over all over the spoons with. So, I wonder what airbrush is that. What airbrush do you reckon that is then, Solly? That's
I don't know. I was texting.
That's not harder, is it? I think that's an Iwata, isn't it? It must be an Iwata. Oh. Yeah. The Infinities have the D-shaped one, don't they? D-shape. So here he goes. We need to take heart music on now. Heartbeat. There you go. So look at that. Look at that lay down. So he must be using a 0.3 on that one. What do you reckon, Solly?
That's not that's clean. Yeah.
That's coloured quite well, hasn't it?
And on white as well.
And on white, yeah. Wow. So he's doing all of his doing all the spoons first. Yeah, take heart music. That's funny. That Sully's morph. Yeah, that's actually laying down quite nice, isn't it? Actually, see, I said to him when we chatted to me about him, and I said, do you know what? I'm a big fan of Humbrol primer. I've got about 4 or 5 cans of it. It's the same, to me, Surface Primer L from Tamiya and Humbrol are exactly the same.
Oh.
Because what do you use to prime? What do you
usually it was Vallejo normally. But
which is a good primer.
It's not bad, but after a while, especially if you buy a big bottle, and after a while, it's the same with all any of the paints, like the dropper ones. You're getting that, these little air pocket obviously ends up in there. The more paint you use out of them, and then you start getting these little flaky bits that dry out, and it just gets through the airbrush, and you've got to try and either take it off or try and sand it back, which you don't want to do. It's generally a good primer, but it took me pretty long enough to try and get hold of it because it's not meant to get hold of it. Mr. Surfacer, is absolutely amazing, but it's just trying to get hold of the stuff. It's so hard, and he's a little bit expensive. No,
do you thin it down? Do you ever thin it down?
No, straight through.
Which one do you use?
A lie. No, that's a lie. Did I thin it down? I'm trying to think what I only painted yesterday with it. I don't think I thinned it actually. I think I put it straight in, but I think you can put a little bit in. But I think I'm sure I put it straight down. I've forgotten yesterday what happened.
I've got the 3 jars here of it, and I've just never used them.
Yeah, I
just grabbed the Humbrol, and that's it. It covers really well.
I used to like using Citadel's Chaos Black spray paint because that was always a great product. Because I prime everything black normally.
Yeah.
Because the surface I've got it's a light grey, so I couldn't get hold of the black. But I like priming stuff in black because if I miss anything, especially airbrushing, it'll look like a shadow.
Okay.
That's
a
what
good
I
shout.
go by.
I've never primed black. Never have.
Yeah, always
always
have.
grey.
I've always have them.
Yeah,
I know a
too.
lot of because I know a lot of people do it because it means you can see the bits that you've missed, which I totally get. And sometimes it can take quite a bit of effort to bring colours up off the black, because obviously when you put a colour down on black, no matter what colour it is, it will darken it. That's generally why I tend to do a bit of like not panel line, is it panel line? Pre-shading.
Yeah.
Which to be fair, I like doing anyway because it gets my hand in a little bit, trying to control the airbrush as well. So it just for me, it's two things like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always gone black because if I miss something, especially airbrushing, and especially on a figure, it's a natural shadow there, and then if I do miss it, I ain't got to worry about it.
John, as I said, you know, people. That's what I'm saying about scale modeling is like a lonely hobby to learn, because if I'd watched you 20 years ago spray something, I never even thought about spraying something black for shadow. You know, I just did it.
I can't remember where I heard that from.
I've always done it grey and the reason is because that's what people prime. Car people prime their cars grey, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you think grey is the natural colour to spray on. Now you said black, it makes simple sense.
Yeah. But again, the reason why particularly like car painters spray grey is because you get a bright colour out of it. Because 9 times out of 10, that's what you want into it. You know, you're going to spray it like a blue or a yellow. You don't want to use black because it's going to be an absolute arse to, try and bring that colour up.
Yeah.
But with the light grey, colour comes out straight away and it pops properly as it should do.
Yeah.
But again, like I says, I mean, it's the same as everything. You can say this at the end of any sentence. It's what you prefer at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, I've always done black because if I miss a bit, again, like I says, with airbrushing, especially on figures, if you miss a bit, it's a natural shadow and you don't really have to worry about it. And there's a good chance it's in an area that you're really not going to see anyway.
Yeah.
And again, it does make it harder to bring the colour up sometimes, but it depends. I mean, the darker colour might be your style anyway. So it works better.
So here he is now spraying on this British Racing green, and that is going down superb. Can you see that? You seeing what I'm seeing?
And it's smooth as well. You can see the feathering at the edges is smooth.
Yeah. Yes. Give it.
So you could do some really good freehand.
Yeah.
Camo lines with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's deep in it.
It is, isn't it? That's a lot of pigment there, isn't it? As well, it's the pigment.
And green's usually a very thick pigmented paint as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry. I want to see the yellow. I want to see how that goes down because yellow, it's a dick to paint, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's simple. You just paint it pink first.
Well, yeah. To be fair, what I've started to do with propeller blades, because again, I always just spray them up black because they're going to be black in the end. But when I've mastered the tips off for yellow, I do paint them white first.
Honestly, paint them pink.
Yeah, do you know what? I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah, paint them pink.
It really does work.
Problem is I ain't got pink. I don't need it.
Well,
that is a problem.
Make some.
Do you know what I mean?
Make some. Just grab some red, grab some white.
To be fair, I'm just too lazy to do that.
Yeah.
Mind you, like I said, that said, I spent all day yesterday painting this area in, I think, 5 different shades of green.
Maybe that's
green.
Yeah, well, maybe as I said, maybe that's something that Jason could do. Maybe he could do what I would call the primary and secondary colours.
Yeah,
I mean,
primers, the only reason I did it with this one is because the aircraft I've based it on has got loads of scratch panels from elsewhere and different fades and all that sort of stuff. So but if you want a solid colour, then that's different. Not
pink under yellow is so much better, and yellow for red. But as I said, it's very hard to get a yellow primer, isn't it? So maybe that could be something he could bring out. That'll be a great box set, actually, if he could do that. Bring out a primer range with those colours: red, blue, yellow, green. No, yeah, red, blue, yellow. Then you got green, pink, and a white, I suppose.
Yeah,
so
orange.
doing
Lexi
now?
said orange. I've heard orange
George,
before. I think I
hang
could
on,
try
Jason.
one.
Jason, can you do a yellow for us, please? Can you do a yellow for us as well? We want to see how the yellow goes down. That'd be good. You might have heard me. I don't know.
His compressor's probably too loud.
Yeah. Well, you could, yeah, his compressor's going. But if he could do us a yellow as well, that would be good. A yellow paint would be good as well. Yellow.
Yeah,
the colour of primer.
That's not a bad compressor, because normally.
Yeah. Mine sounds like a train.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah. It's those spindle ones you want to get now, lads. Like on an Archimedes spindle. Yeah. They're the ones to get. It's like a high. Wow, they're amazing. Here we go.
Once this one goes, I'll upgrade it to something a bit better.
Love saying that. I was looking at those. You bugger got me looking at those. Or was it? No, it was Plastic Alchemist.
Yeah, wouldn't have been
looking at those. What was those water spray booths?
Oh yeah, because I got the standard one, which is absolutely amazing.
Now look at this go on here. This is German colour. This is, isn't it? Look at that.
Obviously, it looks the same colour as a spoon.
There's a little bit.
Oh no, there we go. That's why. Fucking spanner.
Wow, that's gone on pretty smart, isn't it?
Again, smooth feathered lines. You could easily do some freehand stuff with that nicely.
Yeah. Indeed.
Wow.
It's going to go over the top now. Oh, here you go.
That's nice.
Bit of freehand.
Look at that.
Yeah. That is good freehand, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, midnight purple. That's nice.
Yeah. He does do a purple.
Really well over that dark green, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's gone incredibly well. Look at that. Yeah.
I saw going back on the purple. I saw someone do a video using nail polish. I think we was on about this once before. I can't remember the name of who did it now, but yeah. Nail polish is the right thinner for it. I think he used Mr. Leveling thinner for it. Absolutely amazing.
They put like glass beads in it, don't they? He goes,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. He's coming back. So he's done his spraying. He's coming back. I haven't heard the wife shout yet, to be fair, so he's doing all right there.
I'm going to see if he's got a black eye.
Turn that bloody compressor off. We don't know what time it is in the morning. You want 12 kids? You want another 12? You want another one?
No, mate, no. Wait, there's no use. Don't use that language here, please. Kids is a four-letter word. Yeah. So that was your British Racing Green, the German, and all that sort of stuff. So that was just as quick as I could do off the cuff. So
they went down so lovely, mate. I think you've got a good product there. We were shouting for you to do the yellow, but you can do that.
Do you want to quickly do that? It's all set up.
Is it? Can you do a yellow as well? Yeah, we had somebody asked about a yellow. That'd be brilliant, mate.
Yep.
For Sully, that is.
You're right.
Yeah, sorry. Gonna get into good books tonight. Into I hate Spitfires making him paint yellow.
You're gonna have to send some paints over to Sully, aren't you?
Is hate mail sending something?
Yeah, that'll do. I'm fine with that. Yeah, so go on.
You're right, mate.
What you want to do? Send him a range of paints, but make sure he's got to do it on a Spitfire.
I could do that. I could suffer that. I think.
It'll be a captured one, won't it? In RLM colours.
Let me get to the booth.
I've got two dioramas actually involving Spitfires, funnily enough, actually, that I want to do.
Well, and how many birds' nests?
Yeah. It's amazing that even Jonathan picked up on that as well, wasn't it? He saw the comments about that, you know. But no, I just think it's jealousy, really, because they haven't done it themselves before.
Sorry, who's this? Sorry, you lost me a second. I think I zoned out for a second.
I said Jonathan Mock.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, last week he picked up on the fact that he saw the negative comments.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm with you now. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about paint still.
I thought, yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
One day people understand it's just a model and a bit of fun.
It's just a model.
You know.
How dare you enjoy this hobby that we all do to enjoy?
Exactly. This is why I'm now determined, because when I get the Gannet, it's going to look like a bag of nails. Hoping it will wind them up to no end.
I tell you what, mate. Like speaking to Dale, he's so excited about that.
I can't wait. I really can't wait.
I reckon that's going to be the model of the year.
And it's around my birthdays, which is even better.
You don't see much. What has Tamiya brought out in the last 3 years that made you go, wow? They brought out that Lightning, and it didn't give me a much wow, because I'm thinking, well, you're only reboxing the Italeri version, the B, 2 years prior. And
was that a reboxing of that though?
Yeah, the Tamiya
I didn't realize
Lightning, the F35B that was reboxed by Tamiya was the Italeri one.
I'm sorry, I was thinking the P38 that they had.
No, it's 35.
Yeah.
See, to be honest with you, I don't keep up with stuff. The only reason I know, mainly because of Airfix, mainly because Moz is, fanboying over him, and one of the guys at work. Otherwise, I have absolutely no idea when anything comes out. To be honest with you,
yeah,
this is the first time I've ever pre-ordered a model as it's been announced. I've never done that before.
Never done that before.
I know two of the ones recently, at least, to the question about Tamiya, that a lot of people have said a lot of positive again, is the P38 Lightning and the M18 Hellcat. And I have both. I haven't cracked them open yet to speak towards them, but I've heard,
Yeah.
So but it's not on the same level though, right?
Yeah.
This is lemon. This is the lemon color. This one, lemon yellow, I think he calls it. Which I could,
and it's a nice bright yellow too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's see how it sprays on grey.
Because yellow's the worst color to paint.
Yeah.
It's
especially on black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you've got to at least put a couple of coats down before you get a decent opacity on it.
I know. I've got a Caterpillar model to build for my dad at some point. He's got the Caterpillar yellow. The original Caterpillar yellow. So,
the kind of orangish yellow ish.
Yeah. It's not. It's more like a grayish yellow. It's like a proper dirty.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
You said you had a Caterpillar model. Is that like one of those natural life ones?
Caterpillar. It's an old Caterpillar bulldozer, and also I've got some Caterpillar die-cast as well, like earth moving stuff. That he goes is the yellow. Here he goes.
Oh yeah.
Well, what do you reckon, Sully?
Fucking hell, that's mint. That is
mint, isn't it?
To get that opacity straight off the bat, that's ridiculous. Because I've at least had to put 3 coats on over a white before now.
Yeah.
Tamiya's is relatively thick pigmented, but still takes several coats. Bloody hell.
That is impressive.
That is, isn't it?
I'm gonna have to get some of that.
Yeah.
Just the yellow.
Just the yellow.
Just for the yellow. That's
amazing.
One.
Is no.
So you're just going to be doing training aircraft now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But have you noticed how much he's spraying down on it, and it's not even spreading? Do you know if you flood an area? That's the word I was after. It's not even spreading the paint out.
No real spidering, no flow.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm saying. It's
Moz has left it so long, it's turned into a butterfly. Yeah.
I need to get my hands on some.
I'll tell you what. No, I'm all jesting aside, lads. Going by what I see on his website, he's going to have to hit the die-cast market as well. He's going to have to hit the die-cast market as well, because I think those paints will spray beautifully for the die-cast lot.
Definitely.
I've done a few myself. I've what they call it, get an old die-cast car and rip it to bits and re-spray it up and make it look like new. But that yellow, there's loads of cars with that yellow, isn't there?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Like the old Ford AA vans.
Yeah.
That's it, actually. I've still got one of those somewhere. I'm sure I've still got it.
Only fools and horses reliant?
Yeah.
Not quite diecast, but I used to do the Gaslands war game where you just took Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars and do it that way. And I'm looking at this paint and I'm thinking, that's going to hold pretty nicely to some of the metal ones that have come out.
Yeah. That's a good shout there by Wayne Welly. That yellow would go brilliant on the Airfix yellow jacket kit. Yeah. Though this is true or not, if anyone wants the new tooled AH64 Apache, get it now, as it's supposedly a one-run kit. Once it's gone, it's gone. I find that hard to believe if they've done that with a tool in. They won't release it once and bin the tool, will they? They will release that until they get their money back.
Who's that? Sorry?
Yeah, but they're gonna wait for a while before they do it to get some artificial scarcity.
Yeah. Miss Modler's just said, "Oh, OMG! I want that yellow to do my yellow jack right now. And what she has is what she gets." Jason, that yellow, we're all standing here as tripods. That is amazing. mate, also, just saying this out there, you need to get involved with the die-cast restoration lot, mate.
Oh, we already are.
Because that is the one.
We have people in Australia that are Euride Customs. They do full rest. So there's a whole new, right?
Yeah.
Just for example of a car. Well, they've got the Hot Wheels sleeve done in Euride Customs. They do people's cars and use Outlaw paints.
That's amazing.
And they rebox them and put them in the plastic sleeves and all that. And we did one. There was a young guy that died here locally, and Euride Customs and us got together, and his name was Cade, and he was 22 years old, and he passed away New Year's Eve in a car accident. And for the funeral, they made up, I think it was 60 of these custom made, so it was all
We're just blown away, mate.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Send me the fucking paints.
Show me the money.
Yeah.
No, we as I said, you're right. I'm not a bullshitter. I don't like bullshitters. I'm not going to say what it is if it isn't, and that's what I said to you, Moss, the other day. I said, I'm looking forward to watching that Tamiya just go that way because I know, and you just saw again what it does.
Yeah. That was we just well, Sonny, you say what you said about that yellow paint. What did you find difficult about it?
It's just building up the opacity for it normally, but that just like one, effectively one shot. It's amazing. I've never seen a yellow go down like that before. If I'm being honest,
what we do, mate.
It's absolutely amazing.
And it's for only people who love Spitfires, so I'm sorry.
Fine, I won't buy anything.
Well, that's okay, mate. We've got other people that can build models.
Oh,
Oh,
Hey, Sally, mate, I'm just wondering where you get your kits from. Do they sell kits for men as well?
oh, cheek of it.
Oh,
And the Ashes
Sally.
are going to stay with Australia, by the way. Hey, get me off my head off the screen. Thank you. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you for that demonstration, mate. That was incredible. I think there's a lot of people who've just watched that and thought, wow. And as I said, we're just looking forward to getting them over here. So basically, everyone's having a preview of what this paint is before it comes over here. And I promise you, mate, as soon as I get them on my desk, I'll just switch on the camera and I'll just play with them.
Will you be clothed or unclothed?
I'll probably be clothed.
Just put some nipple tape on, it'd be great.
I know.
But on the OnlyFans page?
Yeah. We just set up an OnlyFans Outlaw Paint.
OnlyFans and Outlaw. Get it on. Or get it off.
Could sell tickets for that.
Yeah,
We
probably
wouldn't
could,
sell
yeah.
it.
Only modelers.
Hey,
Before, so just quickly, also Aussie Scale Modeler is he's got his 1,000 subs, but what he needs is for him to get into the next part of his YouTube journey. He needs people to watch his videos, so he's set up a watch list. So if you can go over there and just find some device like an iPad or a computer and just leave it on overnight and let that playlist play through, and it'll help him get his watch hours up. So I promise I'll say that for you tonight, because I said when you come on, we'll just help you with your channel. But obviously, you're watching this on numerous channels here tonight. So you're getting a lot of exposure, Jason. So you just go over there and give Aussie Scale Modeler a sub and a like and watch some of his videos. Also, for the guys here, the reason Airfix and Chill was set up was to give other YouTubers exposure, because the algorithm doesn't work as it should. You know, there's some modelers I've never seen because it, you know, but hopefully this way you'll all come and subscribe and like our videos and watch our stuff. And especially like Alex here, he's got nearly 10,000 subscribers. Sully's and John Alec needs the help as well, so go over there and subscribe to them too, which is good. So, but yeah, Karen, Jason, what were you saying?
Yeah, mate, well, I was just going to say thank you very much for having me with you, brother. I'd love to catch up in the mornings again when I can.
Yeah,
but with the channel, just so everybody knows what Aussie Modelers Live and Aussie Scale Model is about, is any money that's received goes to helping those who don't have kits, those who don't have tools, those who don't have models, those we donate to veterans throughout the country as well. It's only little bits at the moment because that's all we've got. But Outlaw Paints, not only with the 48-hour bill, but any model show we go to, so any model club and that, we give them a full range of Outlaw Paints to raffle off to raise money for that charity, whether it's men's mental health, might be kids for cancer or whatever. That's what I do. I mean, I love waking up every day. I'm very thankful to wake up every day, and you know, to meet people like you, Moss, and Alex, and all you guys. It's just unbelievable.
And Sully,
and not so much Sully.
And Sully.
Fuck you lot then.
But,
I've been really good tonight. I could have slated that bit like no end.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that says they don't like Spitfires, holy shit!
I don't think he dislikes them that much. I think
I like the design. It's because after work we won, and it just pisses me off.
Yeah. Sully works at the museum, so if you ever come over in this country, mate, come over to Cosford and go and meet up with Sully at Cosford.
Yeah,
his models
next year will be at Telford. There'll be. I'm bringing
we're down the road from that.
Modelers.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to Telford this year, so I'll come and catch up with you
next year, mate.
Next year. I'll try next year as well.
We'll be there. There'll be a team of myself, Braden, and 5 to 6 outlaw modelers that we've decided to go with the sponsorship route and sponsor modelers. And so we're coming over there. Can't wait to catch up. It's not about the paint for me. It's about meeting people like yourselves where we can talk about plastic and share with what we know, like, and help other people, like get kids into it and get modeling back to where it was when I was a 6-year-old and you got a choice of 4 Airfix models and a plastic bag, like get that passion, get creativity, get
we can't wait. As I said, you've come on to the it's based in Australia, so it's a little bit. What can I say? Is the time difference is the annoyance for us. If it was easier, because I said it's 7 o'clock in the morning where you are, and I remember when I speak to you at midday, up at my ranch, it's 8 o'clock in the evening for you, isn't it? Like so we have you're there with your top off, sweating in here, mate. I've been doing paint and everything, But no, thank you so much for doing this, mate. And I said we are like Blue Street Customs. Those paints will be awesome over here. I think you've definitely showed us what they're capable of, and I hope you will. Hopefully, that they'll be out in the next. What are you saying about next 3 months? The whole range will be over here.
I think what I liked about that demonstration was the fact that you saw it go from the bottle to the cup to the spoon. There was no no in between. It was what was in the bottle came out, and it laid it down and. Oh, hang on. Oh, my son, come and say. You want to say good morning to the world, dude? He doesn't want to say good morning. He's making his dad a coffee.
Oh, bless him. Mine's black, no sugar, please.
Sully. That's a sacred cup, mate. That's a man to drink out of.
I need to train the 4-year-old to start doing that for me.
He's got a cup. Sully's got a Spitfire cup.
Sully.
Look at that.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Spitfire.
Sully, I'll send you paint. You send me that fucking cup. Sorry, that
cup. That's a deal, Sully. You want some yellow?
I'll send you
yellow already.
I don't care. You can pee in it, Sully. Just remember, wipe front to back.
Yeah, definitely.
But Moss, mate, I think I've told you and I've told everybody, I think in my last video, what about your channel, James, is that you're genuine people. This isn't a big advertisement for this, that, and everything else. You are a genuinely caring human being about your fellow man and your fellow modelers. And that's mate, that was only one of the reasons I came on it. Again, I couldn't give a RS about Outlaw. The fact that I get to spend time with you and meet these other wonderful people. Yeah, that's all I care about, mate.
Yeah, I suppose that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. We just want people say about scale modeling, and I think scale modeling's one. I think the what's happening in the scale model bubble is, since COVID, we've seen an increase on people wanting to do the hobby. We, as scale modelers, we are so blessed with good kits now. We're blessed with accessories, and I think when I see levels, I'm saying I think that the whole scale modeling fraternity is going up a level, and with people like yourself bringing out good paints, Airfix bringing out incredible models. The likes of Ammo and Flory models bringing out their weathering powders and and weathering stuff. We can't go any further, I don't think. But as I said, I do this because I want to embrace the modeling community that other scale modelers are seen who do YouTube channels, and then we just support and help each other, in a really good way. So. And I think the build-off was incredible. I've subbed to about 30 different scale modelers. I think 15 of them came from Australia, believe it or not. So, because there's some brilliant... like I say with you, Jason, I'm an average modeler. I don't like to spend more than a month on a model. I get bored. I want to stick it together, glue it up, and then on to the next one. And with the amount of kits I've got, even if I do one a week, I haven't got I haven't got the time in my life to finish them all. But yeah, if you ever want to come back on here, mate, you want to get you on your workbench and build with us, you're always welcome. And this test that we've done tonight to put us on each other's channels, I think that's a game changer for StreamYards. I'm seeing comments coming through, when they link to the particular channel that they're watching from. As I said, nothing gets better than that, mate.
You're a credit, and you all are a credit to the modelling guys and as people. John, I think I'm definitely sub to yours. I don't think I'm sub to yours, Alex, man. But that's going to happen after this. It's just an amazing community. I was I think the best part was when two of my boys said, "You're too old. Nobody cares about models." When I started, and I look at their videos and look at that! You've got 15 views. Go you!
Yeah, that's it.
I think what you are doing, mate, and James, and it's just magical. And we can, it's a little snowball, and we can make it huge. Like we can turn it into an avalanche.
Yeah, that's it. And if we know, well, hopefully,
Who is Fenris Models, by the way? I'm looking at Fenris and Rorex. Who are they?
Well, Rorex doesn't have a YouTube channel. But
he's the exception to the rule for some reason.
He's the exception to the rule.
I just built a few.
Rorex he's my hero. He works at a children's hospital. He's my hero, and he's a brush painter. He doesn't airbrush at all.
Yeah, sorry,
Humbrol and Revel, I think he uses for his paintbrushing, but he gets his finishing of his models is up there with any airbrusher. And Fenris is our American friend who has to come on because at the end of the day, the idea is that we have people on to help with their channel. So, like Wayne Welly's just said, he needs to get his channel up and running. He's very welcome to come on to Airfix and Chill and chat to us and promote him. And this is Alex's first time on here, but we've had him in our channel in our little Discord for a while now. We're hopefully going to be doing a podcast in the future, and we'll get you onto that as well, Jason, because I think you'll make a really good guest on our podcast.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, it's all good. We're just trying to build. I mean, we don't judge on people's workmanship because everybody's scale models differently to others. So if you want to spray up a paint Spitfire, you're quite welcome to. So yeah. So there's more. There he is now. There's more. Hiya, mate.
I've got to get you some Outlaw.
Yeah. He's based in Holland, aren't you, Rorex?
Amsterdam. Yeah, the Netherlands. I work in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Well, Peter from Model Kid Hunter. He's organising Outlaw to get to the Netherlands.
Model Kit Hunter?
Kit Hunter, yeah. But
they've got a 48-hour build in October.
Yeah.
Look him up.
But will Rorex go on to being an airbrusher? That's the question.
I don't know.
That's a question. Can you hand brush Outlaw paints?
That's another thing. We're looking by the end of the year, I think, or the start of next year, to have every colour that's in airbrush, brushable, so you can do all your detail work in the same colour.
So you had it here first.
You've done something, you chipped a paint, or somebody's knocked your model, and you don't want to bring out the airbrush to touch it up. You can just get that same colour, exactly the same colour, and just go ding, and there you go.
Wow. So there you are.
Because we're modelers, as I said, that's how it came about. We're modelers, so we know the issues and what we want as modelers. So
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, it's coming up to 10 o'clock. I'm going to end the stream in a bit, but I just want to thank everyone who's been in the chat tonight. Thank you all for joining us. If you want to contact Jason, his website is outlawpaints.com.au, is it?
Yep. www.outlawpaints.com, or if you're in Australia or whatever, it doesn't matter. I think you can add the AU, it doesn't matter. So
yeah.
Okay. And if you need to email me with a specific color, it's jason@outlawpaints.com. Please, if you can give us a bit of time, because we are getting this military range together. They just don't come together like that. As I said before, they've got to be perfect. They will not be released unless they're perfect. So, as you see with the yellow, it's perfect. The grey, perfect. The British Racing Green, perfect. And that's why we're confident when they leave. So.
Fantastic. So thank you all for joining us tonight. For the panel, thank you very much as well. And again, Jason, really appreciate your demonstration tonight, and we would love to have you back on here again. When you've launched your military range, let us know and come on, and you can then show it off, if you know what I mean.
Oh mate, we'll have it showed off. Is Sully going to turn up?
Yes. Yes. Don't be too harsh on Sully. If he put he did a plane. What was the plane you did? It was the Chipmunk.
The Chipmunk car, yeah.
And he put a bird's nest in the diorama. It looked fabulous. And he got a lot of hate for doing that, you know. He got a lot of miserable little bastards commenting.
Yeah, chipmunks don't get dirty, apparently.
Yeah, chipmunks.
Well, mind you, I did it as an abandoned. Basically, because it all stemmed because there was a crack in the canopy, and Airfix at the time, or probably still don't, have the spares to send out for it. So I thought, well, I've got to try and make it look like it's supposed to be there. So I thought, well, I'll do one that's just been abandoned and he's in the process of being restored. Because I bought a second one with it to be the restored version when I get round to it.
Brilliant.
Mike, if you see a comment there, Jaws, is there any paint brands out there that are pre-thinned properly? Well, yeah. He might have just missed what happened in front of you.
Watch a live stream again, Jaws. Watch a live stream again, my friend.
Go back again.
Anyway, Jaws, it's a guarantee. That goes for a 2 mil, mate. You never have to mix it. You never have to do anything. It's perfect, the model, out of the bottle. So I just saw it. Went, did you not see it? So,
yeah, brilliant.
It just happened in front of you.
All right, thanks, John Alec, for joining us. Alec from Man's Models, Fenris, Rorex, Sully there, and also you, Jason. Thanks for joining us tonight. And
my pleasure, brother.
We'll see you again next week.
Yeah,
Cheers,
awesome.
all.
See you later, everybody.
Bye bye.